Hello, my name is Bekah, and I am here with a Midweek Connect video for Foothills Christian Church. Every week I try to join you on this space, come in live to share updates about what's happening in the life of our church. Also give an opportunity for anyone to ask a question you might have or connect with me in the comments. So, we are in the season of Lent, and our special Lent project this year is Dig Deep, where we are raising money to provide water access for a family in Navajo Nation. And this past Sunday, our online silent auction launched, and I just want to say thank you because we set a goal of having people from our church submit for at least 40 items to be donated for this auction of handmade items that are arts, crafts, or baked goods. And y'all stepped up. Right now, the auction site has 66 items, and there's even more going to be updated pretty soon. So keep an eye out on that. If you logged in on it on Sunday, go back and check it out because there's been new items added since then. And wanted to give you a progress along the way. This auction is going to run until March 28th. So you have time to watch your bids and see what you might want to try to get. You can also make a donation directly to this effort. Our goal is to raise $4,500. So this is also where I want to say thank you because let me show, I made this little graphic to measure our goal, and instead of it being a temperature gauge where we're raising money, I thought it'd be fun to show it as us digging deep and digging a hole. And so our goal is $4,500, and we've already raised over $3,700 thanks to the auction items that have, or the bids that have come in for the auction, but also direct donations people have made to that project. We have an anonymous donor who is matching donations up to half of our goal. And you might be wondering, it's early in Lent. It looks like we're going to meet our goal pretty quickly if this is what it looks like after a few days. So that's our goal. We can surpass our goal. And money that we collect that surpasses this $4,500 will be used to go to Dig Deep and meet even more of a need. So thank you so much for all of your contributions so far. And again, go back to that auction and check it out because new items have been added. And if you donated something, also check out the auction to make sure all the information is correct. So if you have any edits that need to be made, we can still do that. So go in there for that. And some things happened in the life of our church. This Sunday, Jay Hartley, who serves as our regional minister for the Disciples churches here in Arizona, will be joining us for worship out in the courtyard. To help us lead, he's going to be leading the commissioning portion of our worship service, where we are going to be officially commissioning Janelle Fairchild to serve as our associate pastor. So join us for worship this Sunday. It's going to be an exciting Sunday for that. And it will be the first Sunday in March, and so we're moving back to our regular worship time at 10 o'clock. We've been at 11 for a couple months, but we're going to go back to 10 a.m. starting this Sunday. Also this Sunday, our youth group is set to meet middle school and high school after worship, I think around 11:30, if I have that right. Worship at 10, Zoom call for youth group. And this week, I'm going to be joining the youth on that call because one thing I'm going to be working with the youth on is to create some plans for the youth to lead our Maundy, Thursday service during Holy Week. So calling all youth to join me for youth group this Sunday after church. And we'll spend the first part of the call, Zoom time, on planning that service, but the second part of that youth group time will be focused on some fellowship and games and fun stuff like that. And another event that will be happening around the corner, Kathy Bryant is the church member here. She's also a retired pastor. Her and her husband are retired Disciples clergy. And Kathy has decided she'd like to offer a Labyrinth Workshop on Saturday, March 13th. It'll be outside, social distance measures. And so if you're someone who has noticed our labyrinth, not sure what's it about, wants some more context about how you could use a labyrinth, or if you're someone who's enjoyed labyrinths for a long time and have grown to love them and appreciate them, join too, because Kathy is going to go over some different ways you can incorporate a practice of a labyrinth into your spiritual disciplines. So be on the lookout for the details, but it's Saturday, March 13th. Mark your calendars for that. And for Lent, we are, to go with our Dig Deep theme, we are lifting up the work that Dig Deep is doing in partnership with the Navajo Nation, so that we can, this isn't something just we're doing on our own, but we are lifting up the work they are doing and seeing how we can best partner and become in relationship and build a connection in that way. So Dig Deep connected us with Margie Barton, who serves as the chapter manager of the Dilcon chapter. So let me pull up this map again to show you. The Dilcon chapter, there's 110 chapters in Navajo Nation, and the Dilcon chapter is, see, I don't know, like that, yeah. In the turquoise area, if you look in the bottom turquoise area, it's all the way on the far left bottom side. And each chapter has a chapter manager. Margie is doing incredible work with serving in that role. And so about a little over a week ago, I sat down with Margie to, let me see if I can do this. There we go. To learn some more and to hear from her. And I took our discussion, our conversation, and spliced it up into different segments. So last week, if you didn't get a chance to watch it, I shared a 5-minute clip of Margie introducing herself and what it means to be a chapter manager of Navajo Nation. And today I have another clip to share with you, and we'll continue doing this through Lent so we can learn more and build a relationship. But today, what she's going to share about in this clip is some reflections on how COVID has impacted community life where she lives, as well as the other question I asked about and that she shares on is some misconceptions that she finds and when sharing about her culture and some of the just things that people maybe assume that aren't correct. So with that, I want to share this video with you. I was curious about how COVID has affected daily life.
At the beginning, I don't think people really knew how bad it was, and they continued to do what they were doing, is running around at night, having get-togethers. And when it finally hit our area, because we weren't even hit until the latter part of the whole COVID pandemic, it came from sort of like the northern and the central area of the Navajo Nation, and then kind of just swooped around, and then it hit our area. So we're now getting the brunt of the deaths. I just found out my good friend died Saturday, so it's really sad. It's like hitting almost a lot of the families that we work closely with right now.
Yeah. Well, and then like with access to, did it affect like the access to resources too? Like at the beginning too, or?
At the beginning, yes, because I'm so sorry to say, but our Navajo Nation got a lot of money for COVID services, but it never came to the chapters.
Yeah.
It never came to the chapters. However, the president and his plans didn't work very well. He gave the money to the programs, thinking that the programs would be the ones to help us out.
Yeah.
But come to find out, a lot of the programs did not have any access or any documentation or any way to serve the chapters.
Yeah.
And I think just before the year ended, the programs were sending out businesses to come and help with some of the developments, like installing bathroom additions, cisterns, septic tanks, and all that stuff. But they didn't realize that the paperwork they had was about 10 years old. And so the referrals they made to these companies were people that were already dead.
Yeah. So just a lot of.
So it was just a real disorganized manner. And so we didn't really get anything as a chapter. You know, we didn't get any kind of help. The ones that did help us are the ones that were nonprofits, churches, and just our own, like I have my kids digging all their clothing, you know, whatever they didn't need. We took it to the chapter, we put it out there, and let the people pick out what they needed. But it was down to where the nonprofit that helped us the most was Dig Deep. They brought tanks, water tanks. I think they're 275-gallon tanks. Set them up at the houses so that we could just fill them up for the people. Because it was too difficult for them to come and pick up the water themselves like they did before, because of COVID.
Yeah.
So it was pretty tough. We didn't really relax that much through the whole process.
Yeah.
And it was only like about a month ago when I said, you know what, I think our people are fine for now. Let's just go ahead and start moving along with the projects again. So we're not just all, you know, doing 24/7 on
Like survival.
Yeah, on surviving. Yes, but now it's a little bit easier, and it's doing. Everybody's doing a lot better, except for the ones that are the high risk. The high risk is
the most vulnerable.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's how we got in or connected to you, is through Dig Deep.
Yes, that's right.
And everything. So.
Yeah, Emma.
But I was gonna say, in terms of just like learning more about Navajo Nation and Untitled Chapter, is there things that are there any misconceptions that people have that you wish they would know, or like some common misconceptions about?
Well, at the beginning, I think I got a lot of real negative comments when I was involved in a documentary. And in fact, I think Emma and I and the officials, we were part of a documentary, and that went nationwide. And I was getting a lot of feedback from people, and some of the feedback was, don't you have government monies to fix those houses? How sad that you know that you allow your people to live in those kind of homes. And doesn't the chapter see that your people needs help? What have you what have you done for them? And oh gosh, it's really really inconsiderate comments that were made on there, and I had to turn it around on some of those people and say, hey, does your city or county build your homes? Do they go to your homes and patch them up? No, those are your responsibilities, and that's how this government is. A lot of the work is their responsibility to fix their homes. But, you know, if we can get a grant, maybe we'll help them fix their homes. But with the money that the local government gets, you can't fix homes. All you have enough for is just to operate the government, the local government. And so my response to them was sort of that fashion, to where, you know, your government's not going to be able to help you if that happens, you know. Some
like critical feedback that isn't well informed and comes from a place of like not under ignorance or assumptions that aren't made correctly.
And I think one of them was pretty much saying, how come you don't have water? Don't you guys know how to, you know, build pipelines? Or where have you guys been, you know? And my response was, you know, we live on a reservation that's overseen by the federal government. So with the federal government, they have all kinds of regulations that we have to follow.
Right.
A project that could cost like $500,000 could probably do a lot off the reservation because all the federal regulations don't apply out there.
Mm-hmm.
But with our projects out here, the majority of it goes to land clearances, all kinds of survey work,
Right.
right-of-way work. By the time you get the project started, you've already spent like a third of or half of it already,
Right.
just for
all the
things
site
like
work that needs to be done before you can even get to the project.
Right. And it's much more expensive because you don't realize how much more the companies or the for example, like Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
If you buy material from Home Depot, it's not just the material you pay for.
Right.
You also pay for the transportation.
Yes.
And then they have a cost for on highway costs.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they go on a dirt road, it's twice the amount again.
Yeah.
So if you have a dirt road that's 40 miles, you're paying a large amount of money. And then for the regular transportation costs on nice roads.
Right, yeah, I can't imagine. All right, well, thank you for joining me, Lee, and anyone else who chimed or came in to this live video, and to all who are watching this after the fact. Please feel free to connect with me and let me know how I can be praying for you. If there's any support we could offer, we'd be glad to as a church. Two other things I wanted to mention is that we have two meal trains set up. One is to continue to provide some meals for the Kozman family who welcomed their new baby boy a week and a half or so ago. They have some special dietary restrictions as a family, so it's not a sign up to provide meals that you would drop off, but instead it's more of a call for gift cards to help with meals. But then we just set one up for the Mendoza family, and both of the links for these two meal trains you should be able to find in our weekly email that will be sent out later today, or you can find it in our Care and Connect page on Facebook. But the Mendoza one is set up to help offer some meals for this next week for their family. Cynthia had back surgery about a week ago and is home recovering, and this is a way we could support them in this time of need. All right, well, I hope y'all have a great week and see you at 10 o'clock for worship, whether that's here on Facebook or in person in our courtyard, but 10 o'clock. Can't wait to worship with you. Bye.